Good morning, fifth graders. Today we're going to be dividing decimals, and we're going to be estimating first, and then we're going to be dividing them. When we're estimating, obviously we want to make the problem much easier to figure out. We should be able to do it mentally in our head once we're done estimating. So right now we're looking at 36 and 6/10. I'm going to divide that by 3. So I have to figure out how I can do this mentally by dividing 3 into this number. So I'm going to go ahead and round 36. I'm going to round it down. Normally you'd round it up to 40, but 3 can't go into 40. So I'm around 36 and 6/10 to 30. And then I'm going to divide it by 3, and that's going to equal 10. So I know my answer has to be pretty close to 10. I'm going to circle the 10s on my estimation bar, my magnitude estimation bar. Now they would like me to divide this number. So I'm going to do it off to the side here. I got 36 and 6/10 divided by 3. What's special about dividing decimals, the only thing that's different from any other way we've been dividing is you see this decimal right here? Just go ahead and move it up here in your answer. That's the only thing that's different. Now I want you just to ignore that decimal and do division the way you've been learning in the last week. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 times 1 equals 3. Then you subtract. 3 minus 3 equals 0. Go ahead and bring down the 6. How many times can 3 go into 6? 3 can go into 6 2 times. 3 times 2 equals 6. Go ahead and subtract. You get 0. You bring down the 6. You see how I'm doing nothing special with that decimal. 3 can go into 6 2 times. 3 times 2 equals 6. Go ahead and subtract and get 0. There's nothing else over here to bring down. So your answer is over because we have a 0 here. 12.12 and 2/10 is your answer. Let's move on to the next problem. Now we have 9 and 48/100 divided by 4. Now I'm going to change both numbers. Now I'm estimating, I'm trying to get as close as I can to the real answer. It doesn't have to be the exact answer. So I'm going to take a look here. What number can 4 go into that's close to 9.48? Or maybe I changed the 4 to a 5. I'm going to change the 4 to a 5 and 9 and 48/100 to a 10. So I'm going to take this 10 divided by 5 equals 2. Another way you could have estimated, which is completely fine, is you could have rounded that 9 and 48/100 down to an 8 and divide it by 4, which would also give you a 2. Doesn't matter. So now I need to make sure that my answer is very close to the number 2. Well, I'm going to go ahead and divide 9 and 48/100 off to the side. Divided by 4. Better remember to circle this. How many times can 4? Oh, I better move my decimal up before I begin. I'm going to keep everything consistent. Okay. Now, how many times can 4 go into 9? It can go in there twice. 2 times 4 equals 8. And I'm going to go ahead and subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring the 4 straight down. How many times can 4 go into 14 without going over? That is 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. Go ahead and subtract. Bring down the 8. How many times can 4 go into 28? 4 goes into 28 7 times. 4 times 7 equals 28. Ends with a 0. I'm going to double check. Are there any other numbers to bring down? There is not. So my answer is right up here at the top. 2 and 37/100. It is very close to my estimated answer. So I'm double checking. That is correct. I'm going to go on to my next problem. Now I'm going to be dividing some money here. I'm going to be rounding to see what I could have my answer closest to. I have $18.55 divided by 7. Well, I know 7 can't go into 18. I know 7 can't go into 19. I know 7 can't go into 20. I know 7 goes into 21, but then I'm changing 18 and 55/100 too far. I'm estimating too far. So I'm going to go ahead and have 18 and 55/100 rounded down to 18. Then I'm going to go ahead and change my 7 to a 6. It's not a huge change. 18 divided by 6 equals 3. Now remember, kids, your estimated answer, you just want to get as close as possible. This would be in the ones place. Now I'm going to do my division here of $18.55. I'm going to divide it by 7. Hopefully I get very close to the number 3. If I do not, if I get close to the number 300, I know I made a mistake. So I'm going to write this problem off to the side. 18.55 divided by 7. First thing I need to do is move my decimal up to the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide. Can 7 go into the number 1? It cannot. So I'm going to put a 0 here. 0, subtract. 7 times 0 equals 0. That's where I got the 0. 1 minus 0 equals 1. I'm going to bring down the 8. How many times can 7 go into the number 18? Well, I know 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. That would be too much. So 7 times 2 is what I'm going to have to go with. 7 times 2 equals 14. Go ahead and subtract. Bring down the 5. Now I have to see how many times 7 can go into the number 45. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. So I'm going to have to go with 7 times 6. 7 times 6 equals 42. Subtract, get a 3, bring down the 5. 7 can go into 35. Exactly 5 times. That was some easy math. 35. Subtract, get a 0. There's no other numbers to bring down. So my answer is 2 and 65 hundredths, which is very close to the number 3. So that number, or that question is correct. My next problem, 7 and 842 thousandths divided by 6. What number can 7 and 842 thousandths, what can I round that to, where I can divide it by 6? Well, I could round that number all the way down to 6, or I could round that number down to 7 and round my 6 up to 7. Remember, you're just trying to have the two numbers get as close together, so when you divide them, you have an easy answer. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to round this number to 7, divided by, and I'm going to change this number right here to a 7, which equals 1. So my answer has to be very close to the number 1. Go ahead and circle the ones. Set up my division problem on the right here. 7 and 842 thousandths divided by 6. Change colors here. First thing I must do is move the decimal up to the top. If I don't move the decimal up to the top, my answer is going to be completely off. I'm going to go ahead and work out the problem. 6 goes into 7 one time. 6 times 1 equals 6. Go ahead and subtract. You get a 1. You bring down the 8. Same thing every single time. 6 goes into 18 exactly 3 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Go ahead and subtract. 0. Bring down the 4. How many times can 6 go into the number 4? Well, it can't. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 0. Put a 0 here because 6 times 0 equals 0. Subtract. Got a 4. Bring down the 2. How many times can 6 go into the number 42? 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7, 42. Go ahead and put a 7 up here. 42. Subtract. 0. There's no other numbers to bring down. So there's my answer. 1 and 307 thousandths. It's very close to the number 1, so I know I did it correctly. If I wouldn't have put this decimal right here, I would have been reading this number as 1,307, which is completely off from 1 and 307 thousandths. Next problem here. I have the 560 and 1/10 divided by 3. Now it looks like I'm going to have to be doing some estimation here because I want to see if 3 can go into 560, which I can't do mentally in my head because I want to keep it nice and easy. So I'm going to go ahead and round 560 and 1/10 all the way up to 600 divided by 3. I know 3 can go into 6 2 times. I'm going to go ahead and move the zeros over. So my estimated answer is 200. Go ahead and circle the hundreds. Do you see how I just kept I didn't spend a lot of time on estimation. Now I'm going to actually work out the problem and see if my answer is very close to the number 200. I have 560 and 1/10 divided by 3. Go ahead and change colors. First thing I need to do, move the decimal up. Cannot forget the decimal. I'm going to work out the problem. Can 3 go into 5? Sure can, one time. 3 times 1 equals 3. Go ahead and subtract, bring down the 6. How many times can 3 go into 26? Well, 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 9 is 27. 27 is too big, so I have to go 3 times 8. So I'm going to put 8 up here. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract, bring down the 0. Use my math skills again. How many times can 3 go into 20? 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21, which is too high, so I'm going to have to put a 6 here. I have 18. Subtract. Got a 2. Bring down the 1. 3 goes into 21, exactly 7 times. Nice and easy. 21, subtract, we got a 0. Your answer is 186 7/10, which is not too far off from 200, so I know I'm correct. If my answer read 1,867, I know that'd be completely off from 200. So the reason why you're estimating right now, kids, is to make sure you're remembering to put this decimal in. If you don't put the decimal in, your number is going to be completely off. Another problem here. This problem looks like fun. We have 3 and 84 hundredths divided by 6. So right now they're taking a small number and dividing it by a bigger number, which means we're going to have an interesting answer. So let's take a look here. This is a problem that kids in the past have really struggled with. Well, I know 3 and 6, they're numbers that can go into each other. So I'm going to take 3 and 84 hundredths and round it down to 3. I'm going to divide it by 6, and that's going to equal, most kids are going to want to put 2 as an answer. That's not correct because you're taking the number 3 and you're dividing it by 6. So what you have to do is you're going to have to go 3 divided by 6, which actually equals half, which is 0.5. Now let's take a look here. Let's work this problem out and let's see if our answer gets very close to 5/10. If it doesn't, we did something incorrect. So we have 3 84 hundredths divided by 6. First thing, move the decimal up. How many times can 6 go into 3? You can't. 0. 6 times 0, 0. Subtract. 3, bring down the 8. I know 6 times 6 is 36. I can't get any closer to 38, so I'm going to go ahead and put a 6 here. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract 2, bring down the 4. How many times can 6 go into the number 24? 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. So my answer is actually 64 hundredths, which is very close to 5/10. Now, before I conclude this lesson, I want you guys to remember, when you guys are estimating your division problems, make sure you're rounding each number so it's basic math. So it's nice and easy for you to do mentally. 3 divided by 6, nice and easy. 600 divided by 3, you can do that mentally. 7 divided by 7, you can do it mentally. 18 divided by 6, you can do it mentally. 10 divided by 5, do it mentally. 30 divided by 3, you can do it mentally. If you're taking time, a long time trying to figure out your estimation problem, you didn't estimate well enough. So keep that in mind. And when you're figuring out the answer, I want the actual answer. It's basic division. The only thing that is a little different today than the last few lessons is you have to remember to move the decimal straight up before you begin. Good luck with your homework tonight, kids.